am convinced that the single most important reason why women don't see the success that they want to in their business or in their personal life is because of the conditioning that we have experienced early on since we were children. Think about it this way. Since we were born, as women, we have learned about the things we should be, the things we shouldn't be, how we should behave, how we shouldn't behave, what we should wear, what we shouldn't wear. We have learned to stay quiet. We have learned to put other people's needs first. We have learned to be the good girl. We have learned so many things so that we conform, so that we are liked and accepted by society. And then we go out into the world as women and we want to create businesses. We want to meet the love of our lives. We want to live the life of our dreams. And we do. We start the journey and then something feels off. It feels like we're doing all the right things, but still something feels off. And then we hear all these messages about just be your authentic self. Just go live your life. Just be true to yourself. And it feels hard. It feels hard to be that because for years we have learned how not to be that. For years we have learned that it is wrong to be our authentic self because we don't want to trigger other people. I can't put my earring in. Can you see that? We are hearing to be our authentic selves, but the reason why we are not is because we have lost touch with who we truly are authentically. And for so long, I have heard from coaches, from my coaches, they were telling me, just be bolder, just be more you, just be more authentic, just be all of those things. And I tried. And then I compared myself and I tried to be more like this person because they knew what they were doing. And I tried to be more like this person because they knew what they were doing. And I tried and tried and tried and tried and it still wasn't me because I was still trying to do what everyone else was doing. I was still trying to conform. I was still trying to not trigger people. I was still trying to be liked by everyone. I was even trying to keep myself small because I didn't want to outshine other people because that would make me a bad person. And so truly the work to become successful in your business, in your life, is to not do more. You don't need another strategy. You don't need another book. What you need to do as a woman is to decondition, is to realize and recognize all the things you've been told, all the things that you thought were the right way to live, to do, to stay quiet. And now it's like, imagine there is an onion. Your authentic self is at the core at the onion. It's like ripping off layer by layer by layer to find back to who you truly are authentically because she's there. She's there within you. But the reason you don't know who your authentic self is because of all of those layers, of all of these ideas of what you need to be, how you need to be, how you need to speak, how you need to dress. In the middle of that onion is the true you. But if we don't peel off all of these layers, you will not find back to your true you. And if we don't peel off all of these layers, you can do as much as you want. You will try to have a successful business, but if you've learned early on to be a people pleaser, to put other people's needs above you, it's going to be extremely hard for you to have a successful business because you can't put other people's needs above you if you want to have a successful business, because you are at the core of your business. And if you put other people's needs above you, eventually you will burn out and there is no more you running this business, right? So we really have to recognize that there is so much noise out there about strategy and do another thing here and another thing here and just show up more and just work harder. All of this will not decondition who you are as a woman. It makes these things worse. Even yesterday, I right now am in my luteal phase of my menstrual cycle. If you don't know what the menstrual cycle is, which I guess you do, but to get it further, there are 4 phases in the menstrual cycle. And in each of those phases, your hormones shift. And in each of those phases, you feel differently. I have an entire video about that, actually multiple videos, so you can check them out down here. And the luteal phase is usually the hardest phase on the mind, on the body for women. We are about to bleed, our hormones are dropping, and we feel less energized, we feel more tired, we feel all of those things. And yesterday, I had a really tough day, mentally, physically. I had no energy to work, I had no energy to show up. It was really difficult for me. And despite doing this work for years, there was still consciously a little voice in my mind telling me, how dare you're not being more productive? How dare you are skipping over work tasks. How dare you are sitting in front of the television at 5 p.m. even though that's all I was able to do at that time. It's been years I've been doing this work. I've been deconditioning, and still that voice is there. That voice telling me I need to do more. I need to show up more. I need to be more productive. And I'm saying this because I have tried it both ways. I have tried to build my business the hard way, the just work harder, just do more, just push more, the very masculine way of doing business. And I was successful for a while until I burned out. And then I was like, okay, there must be another way. And I tapped into the other side of how business can be done. And it can only be done when we decondition ourselves from the belief that we always have to work hard, or we always have to push, or we always have to give more than what we can give. Because your body is smart. Your body literally is speaking to you all the time. And when you listen, you get to hear. But when you don't listen, which most women don't because we have never learned how to listen. Even I remember when I was in school and I used to get horrible period pain. Like really, really bad period pain. Doctor said it was a genetic thing. My mom had it too, but I no longer have those cramps because of the work that I've done. Anyways, long story short, I remember it was sports lesson. And my teacher, also a female teacher, she said to me, well, actually, moving your body is going to help with your cramps. And I remember at that time thinking, no, it's not. It's going to make things worse. But it just reminded me of how early on we're taught to just ignore. Oh, if you're in pain, just move your body, it's going to be better. Absolutely not. It will make things worse, especially if you have imbalanced hormones and very heavy periods like it was for me. But I remember literally my teacher back then was trying to condition me to ignore. And I did for years. And so many of the things that we have learned as women, we need to stop learning now. And that process also requires you, and this is hard, like this process, there's like a part of you that is truly dying, a part of you that you need to let go of. And it's not an easy process because when you let go of that part of you always held on to, it's like an old part, like a part of you is dying. It's a death, it's grieving. One part I had to let go of is that part of I'm just a hard worker because I defined myself by it. I was always the one putting in extra effort, always. Everyone was leaving, I kept going. And because I defined myself by that, the process of letting that go was extremely hard because who am I when I'm not a hard worker? Who am I when I'm not this person that everyone knows me as, you know? So the whole process of deconditioning requires you to be very honest with yourself and look at parts of yourself that you've been defining yourself as and realize that they're no longer serving you. And I'm sure you're watching this because you know something needs to change and you can't keep going like that. And in a world where it's all very still masculine based, still very much that energy of grinding and working hard with so much competition and so much information, it's truly a process. And it's really important that when we do this work of deconditioning, that we're also kind to ourselves. And it's the hardest part. When you've learned to push through, when you've learned to be the hard worker, when you've learned to do things a certain way, we tend to be the hardest to ourselves. But it's also about recognizing that we cannot decondition ourselves when we are mean to ourselves. It's a process of finding back to ourselves, of loving ourselves, of trusting ourselves again. And if you are a female entrepreneur and you're watching this and you want to learn how to build your business from that energy, I have a free masterclass called The Feminine Way to 10K Months. And I speak about this as well. And I speak about how to create a coaching business that feels aligned with your energy as a woman and where you're not working against your body. I have the link here in my description, so I would love for you to sign up. It's a wonderful masterclass, and it's going to go even deeper into what I just talked about. So I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please let me know. I'm sending you so much love, and thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.